Let's find that code. Okay, let's find that code. Let's put that code in the chat box. We'll put it so everyone can see it if we can. And let's read that code and go into that code together. Okay, let's read it together out loud. Biological family, because remember, we're in that time of year where we've all been with family. We're all engaging family. Biological family is wondrous, and we're committed, right? And we're with that particular family because there's a fixing to do. There's something important, right? And evolutionary family or soul root family, the same thing, is not less, sometimes even more significant, right? We need to all be at the very least as committed to evolutionary family as we are to biological family, and sometimes even more so, right? Think about this for a second, right? It's with your evolutionary family that you can confess your greatness, that you can take your unique risk, that you can speak and live your deepest heart's desire and be seen in the depth of your glory. And moreover, we're not going to be able to respond to existential risk without honoring, deepening our love of biological family, and then opening our hearts and loving just as much, sometimes wildly, our evolutionary family, right? Our soul root family. So biological family is really important to everyone. Right? We were born with our biological family because the intelligence of cosmos chose that family. And it actually required generations and generations of unique allurements to come together and to actually be able to choose each other to ultimately generate the family that generated me. Claude Leloup, I may be pronouncing his name wrong, right? So any of our French representatives, right, can correct me, did a fantastic movie about this couple that meets each other. But the point of the movie is he goes through all the generations before, when you realize what it actually took. Thank you, Claire. What it actually took for this couple to meet each other, right? The webs and webs and webs and webs of allurement, right? That actually brought people together. Like, wow, right? And how did Petrus come together with Veronica? Right? That took everything, man. That took everything. It wasn't just Petrus and Veronica. It was generations and generations before them. And so we actually begin to realize that our families are not an accident, right? There's work to do with our families. There's unique fixings to do with our families. And at the same time, one of the things that we're understanding so profoundly, right, that the ancients at their best understood, but then it got lost. And often, and this is really important, evolution's not a straight line. Often ideas appear and then they get lost. Does everyone get that? Gorgeous ideas appear sometimes in ancient civilizations, and then they're lost, right? And then we find them again. Evolution's not a straight line. And so this idea that I'm about to share with you, people were aware of it, then it got lost. And it's only now coming back online. And this is the notion that we're not defined by our biology, right? I mean, even the notion, which is a complex, it's misapplied in many ways, but even the notion that I move beyond my narrow man and woman, right, only makes sense that I can go beyond he and she. I'm man, but I embrace my she that also lives in me, right? I'm woman, but I embrace my he that also lives in me, right? Moving beyond the actual clear biological distinctions that actually live in the man and woman body. There's a number of clear, very, very clear hormonal, right, and structural distinctions, but actually biology is not destiny. We don't leave biology behind. This is really critical. It's a very big deal, right? We don't deny the core essence of how and where we were born. And for most people in the world, if you were born a man or born a woman, that's a big deal. Right? Reality made that choice, not for everyone, but for the overwhelming majority of people, that's clearly the case. It's a big deal. But nobody's limited by biology. You see, we don't leave biology behind. We transcend and include biology. Everyone get that? That's a big deal. We call that unique gender. But I embrace the unique qualities of masculine and feminine, or what we call line and circle. These are actually original qualities of cosmos that live in me. That's my unique gender. Big deal. The same thing's true about biological family. So actually, we don't leave biological family behind. We're madly committed to our biological family. Does everyone get that? We're madly committed to our biological family. But that's not the whole story. We transcend and include biology. I've actually got a larger family. And the larger family are the people that I meet along the way. And I want to get this with you. It's a very big deal. The people we meet along the way matter. And I want to tell you, if I can, a super personal story. In 2006, I suffered an enormous tragedy. I was actually wrongly attacked, and my biological family, right, didn't actually ask questions. They were deep in Orthodox Judaism and other forms of Judaism, right? They thought I was, not faithful to Orthodox Judaism, although in my deepest heart I am. I actually practice in my own internal private practice. I put on phylacteries every day. I do Sabbath. I keep kosher. But I was moving beyond Orthodoxy and in some many senses beyond Judaism and practicing in Buddhism and practicing in the best understandings of Christianity and of Kashmir Shaivism. And so when I got attacked falsely, right, my family disappeared. They just they didn't call, or they assumed that the claims were correct, which they weren't. And so my family was gone. And the people that were close to me were my evolutionary family, who were wonderful teachers and professors and feminists and men's rights activists and people in psychology and politics and leading victim abuse advocates. The people who really gathered around me, fabulous human beings of unimpeachable integrity, and they were my family, right? They were my evolutionary family. They were my soul root family. So my soul root family, my evolutionary family, those are the people I evolve with. And I've got to be radically committed to them, right? In the same way, sometimes even more, than I'm committed to my biological family. And I want to tell you something shocking, and this is hard to get. There's a great Hasidic master, right, who wrote on his deathbed. Okay, I want you to kind of feel that with me. He wrote on his deathbed. He said, I have just one sin that I want to atone for. I want to atone for the sin of loving my son more than the neighbor's child, than the neighbor's boy. Now, I'm not saying, my friend Terry, that you shouldn't love your son more. I'm saying I get what that master was saying. Do you get the dialectic of that, everyone? Get how I'm using the word dialectic? There's a both and here truth. We got to take our evolutionary family seriously. Our evolutionary family is serious. We've got to be committed to them. And I'm going to share with you, with your permission, this is a personal day, right? This is a holy day. It's a celebration day. So I want to share personally. I've given away, right? I don't know, huge amount of the little money I have in the world, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? To people who are in my soul root family, right? Not biological family, right? Because I'm committed to them, right? And so it's always measured in terms of money, right? So what we do is we spend money only on our biological family, and our soul root family, our evolutionary family, we write them a nice note. No, you got to be committed all the way in the best way you can, obviously in the best way you can. And obviously we all have to balance those competing concerns. But I'll just tell you one thing. If you've got $10 million in the bank, right, and you're spending 9 million of it, on your biological family, right, and you're spending, 100,000 on your evolutionary family, there's something wrong. Right? That's a problem, right? That's actually a glorified form of racism. It's actually not per se true that, for example, your children deserve all your money. It's just not true, right? Your children deserve your support. They deserve your radical love. But because they're your biological children, it doesn't mean you should leave them all your money. You should actually think about, what do they need, what's appropriate, and what you should leave into the rest of the world, right, which has powerful and gorgeous effect. And that's how I've personally spent my money, right? The little of it that I have, right? But it's a big deal, right? So we got to take evolutionary family seriously. We're radically committed, not less than, right? Not less than our biological family. That's a very big idea. When we go home on Christmas, we meet our biological family. And it's so important to do. And sometimes we feel like we're kids again. And sometimes we feel like all the old stuff comes up and all the old pain moves through us. And it does. And I hope that you were able to heal some of it this Christmas and this Hanukkah. in this new year coming up, and that you'll be able to heal more of it next year. So don't turn away. Never turn away from your biological family, right? And one of my commitments this year is I've got to call my mom more often, right? Which I don't do well enough. Okay. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Okay. And be radically committed. Really know. Sit down and make a list. Who's in your evolutionary family? You get that as a practice? Who's in your Sopran family? Who are your real friends? Who would really show up for you? Who would you really show up? Who's in the first principles and first values with you together? Who do you have a shared vision with? Right? It's a big deal. So I want to just see if we can find that together. And when we can find it together, we can actually realize who we are. You see, with your evolutionary family, you don't have to play small. Do you get that? You don't have to play small. With your evolutionary family, you can actually be the king and queen, the prince and princess who you really are. With your evolutionary family, you can actually confess your greatness. Okay? You can confess your greatness. And reality, we need you to confess your greatness. Reality needs your service. This is such a deep idea that we talked about. You know, some of us talked about it in Holy of Holies this week, that actually reality needs, God needs, right? Reality manifested, the infinite manifested the finite because the infinite needs to give and the infinite needs to love. And the infinite doesn't want to have lunch alone. It's a very big deal. Infinity yearns for intimacy. Wow. So reality needs our service. Reality needs your service, and your service comes from your greatness, right? When you're in your joy, you can access your greatness, right? That's where you find your glory. And so with your evolutionary family, confess your greatness. With your evolutionary family, confess your deepest heart's desire. With your evolutionary family, you can take your unique risk, and your unique risk might be, wow, I'm going to plunge into this beautiful love, and I'm not sure what's going to come out of it, but I'm going to do it in such integrity that it's going to be an outrageous love story. With your evolutionary family, you can live your outrageous love stories, and they have different forms, right? Outrageous love story doesn't necessarily mean a romantic love story. It could be two sisters and two brothers, and it could be beloveds that come together in a particular way, or perhaps come together forever. But with your evolutionary family, you can take your unique risk. You can clarify your deepest heart's desire and live your deepest heart's desire. You can come together and form with your evolutionary family a particular quartet or a particular symphonic movement and the great unique self symphony, which is the goal of reality, the generation of a new form of intimacy. One of our core memes is that reality is the progressive deepening of intimacies. That's a core structural dimension of reality. And reality is now generating a new form of intimacy. And this new form of intimacy is evolutionary intimacy. That's your evolutionary family. And with my evolutionary family, I can live that new form of intimacy. And I can love wine and I can love broad, right? It's a big deal. Amor, and its insights are aligned with love. Can we feel that, friends? So let's stand for evolutionary family and soul root family. And we're not going to move and face and walk through this 11th hour of existential risk. And this is the last part of the code until we recognize that my family is not just the immediate group of people around me. No, that's not true. And my money, I'm going to say this again, my money is not mine. Anyone thinks their money is theirs, right? That's a joke, right? You were invested, you're holding your finances because you're given the privilege in this world to decide where and how to distribute it according to the highest principles of wisdom. And not just your money, but your time, your resource, your energy. Your energy is not yours. And our energy is a gift. I'm pouring energy, right, into all of us, right? And let's pour energy into each other now. Our energy is a gift. And we get to give our energy away in mad love consistently, steadily. And give your energy a place where you're going to stay for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and change the world with it. And we're coming together as a revolution, as an evolutionary family, right? As a planetary awakening in love through unique self symphonies, to give our resources, to give the best that we are, And when we give the best that we are, friends, we receive the best that the world has to offer in return. It's only in separate self that there's a contradiction between giving in, and receiving, right? Either I'm putting money in the bank or I'm receiving money from the bank. Either I'm taking money out or putting money in. Either I'm giving or I'm receiving. That's the law of separate self. But that's the law of Homo sapiens. But the law of Homo amor, the law of evolutionary unique self, is that giving and receiving are one. And that's what we mean when we say the sexual model is the erotic. And in great sexuality, like in great eros in every dimension of life, there's no split between giving and receiving. So this year, right, if we're up for it, let's confess our greatness, right? We're going to actually confess our greatness. Just find each other in the chat box. And just if you're up to it, just to confess and say, this year, I want to give everything and I want to receive everything. I know that's a lot to write, so you can write it in short form. This year, I give everything and receive everything. Who's up for that? Anyone up for that? That's a lot to say. This year, right? I give everything and I receive everything. That's my greatness. I'm all in. This is not about self-help. Self-help is about what you can get out of it. This is about the transformation of myself and cosmos through me, which is not what I can get out of it. What can I pour into it? So I'm going to give everything and I'm going to receive everything.